Like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to get new video updates.
A California tunnel could save millions in rainwater. Why is it so divisive? But even the rare opportunity to stock up on the precious resource isn't enough to unite a state divided over a controversial idea of siphoning water from the north and tunneling it south, an attempt at its worst, fighting drought in the southwest for more than at millennium. The California Department of Water Resources said such a tunnel could have tapped a year's water supply for more than 2 million people. The proposal by Governor Gavin Newsom's administration, one that cost $16 billion, would cost to help 27 million water customers in Central and Southern California, spurring fresh outrage from communities who have fought off similar plans for 4 decades, including proposals to build other tunnels or a massive canal before and since the storms in December and January saw overcrowded city halls and stern appeals to the Democratic governor of DN, who were for and against the idea. The appeals came from state and federal lawmakers, including one who was pushing legislation in Congress to prevent the tunnel from receiving a key permit, tackling thorny questions about the consequences of taking water from one location and giving it to another. There are concerns that the tunnel could harm farmers, while not solving California's larger water problems, fueling long simmering state divisions, north versus south, inland versus coast, agriculture versus urban. Still, the water crisis requires solutions. California faces a future climate characterized by both prolonged drought and increasingly violent rainstorms, known as atmospheric flows, like those that repeatedly battered the state in late December and January. Even then, the tunnel probably wouldn't be operational until 2040. But the future of what would be one of California's biggest infrastructure investments of all time could come to a head much sooner. Namath expects to decide by the end of the year whether and how to proceed. California has been piping water south for generations in an attempt to get water where it isn't. While the largest population centers are clustered along the coast and across valleys in the lower half of the state, most of the precipitation falls on the northern half and inland mountains. That being said, about half of the state's annual rainfall typically falls in just 15 days, if not fewer. The tunnel would be a key new element of this system, allowing it to better take advantage of the state's boom and bust precipitation patterns and climate changes that are only expected to become more pronounced. It would carry water 100 feet below the delta, a confluence where the Sacramento and San Joaquin rivers meet, and which receives about half of all of California's stream flow. The tunnel would take water from a location near Sacramento and bring it to a reservoir about 45 miles south. If the proposed tunnel had been in place when the series of rainstorms hit California beginning December, it could have saved 202,000 acre-feet of water, state water managers said. Opponents doubt the risk of breach. South Delta Water Agency General Counsel John Herrick called it a strategy to justify routes for the tunnel that take water from farmers to give to desert communities east of Los Angeles. It is being operated to the detriment of farmers in the Delta, said Herrick, whose agency defends the water supply to farmers. As the delta is saltier and more prone to drought, there are already concerns that too much salt water will be brought in from the brackish bays to the west, as water is pumped from the delta toward the 444-mile California aqueduct. But other lawmakers took the storms as an opportunity to oppose the tunnel proposal. Representative Josh Harder and 3 colleagues in Congress wrote to the Army Corps, calling for in-person hearings, so voters could voice their concerns about the tunnel. A week later, about 150 people gathered at a town hall Harder had organized in the Delta region to voice those grievances, including fears that the tunnel would lower water levels in the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta, even during dry spells, causing concentration of salinity, could be harmful values. The complaint calls on the EPA to update water quality standards for the Delta and to require increased river flows into the estuary to keep water and salinity at safe and healthy levels for aquatic life and farming communities. It is argued that reducing the water level in the delta violates the civil rights of groups such as the Shingle Springs Band of Miwok Indians and the Winnemem-Wintu tribe, and affects their ability to continue cultural traditions centered on the estuary and its wildlife.